just gonna be honest with you guys. It's boring right now. Now that's not to say it's always boring and there's not stuff to do, but let me explain. Okay, before you jump in the comments, let me explain here. What I'm noticing is, or what I'm feeling, anyways. Maybe it's just in my head. I don't know. But what I feel like right now is that it does kind of feel dead. It feels kind of empty. Clearly, that's not the case. Let's take a look here. We go to phase. There's a lot of people out here, right? There's a lot of people. That's a decent amount of people playing. But what I mean is, like, sometimes I'm in here just trying to run stuff. I still get on every day and I do my dailies, but I can't even be bothered to do it on both of my characters. I haven't really played on Wooly in the last couple of days. I'm mainly just sitting here and working on this character, because I'm not intrigued enough to go and run the dailies on both characters. So I get on, I do my open world missions here, I do the latest two duos, and then I do the alert for this episode, and that's it. I may hop on later in the day and just like try to knock out a couple of raids, but what really does it is I'm sitting in queue for like all of the raids. Like I'm just going omnibus, right? And I'm sitting in queue for like 20 minutes. And this is at different periods of the day, you know, to the point I'm just like, you know what? I don't care. And then I just get off. And so it just feels like there's nothing to do at this point. Now, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that these episodes that we've been getting, they're boring. And I'm not gonna pull any punches, and I'm not sitting like I'm saying, I'm not gonna sit here and bash the devs or anything like that. Personally, I feel like they're understaffed and probably overworked. So I really try to emphasize that I am going to cut the devs some slack. I'm not gonna say it's all on them. I don't know if it's just poor management or what's going on. I'm probably going to say poor management. That's usually the case. But they're lackluster. And I think a lot of it comes from, at least in my opinion, I feel like a lot of it comes from just being oversaturated with events. Like we have events left and right. And that's what I say. I feel like they're probably overworked because we know there's not that many of the devs. And they've been trying to get people on. Um, and I think they do a good job with the episodes. Granted, with the amount of time that they have to work on them, I think they do a well enough job. So I'm not going to sit here and say the episodes themselves are boring. I think they're fine. I just think there's not enough in the episodes to keep us invested, which is why it's ludicrous to me that the cost of some of these elite pieces are like 100 marks. That is ridiculous. That's outrageous. Like it should not be that much. You know, it just it blows my mind. That's their way to keep us playing this DLC, and keep us playing these episodes is they just keep upping the cost of these elite pieces, and it's just dumb. It makes me not want to do it. It makes me not want to uh, spend my money on replay batches, which I don't. I just let them build up after a point in time. I may buy some occasionally, but I never buy more than like $10 worth per episode. Really, I don't. I just get bored, a couple months into the episode, and I stop resetting stuff, and then I just let it build up. And then at that point, when the new episode comes out, I just use the badges that have been saving up, if my membership's active and yeah. And then I may spend $10, and that's pretty much that. I feel no hurry to go out here and get my elite gear and max out and all this stuff. I've got a few pieces, but regardless, I feel like there's too much emphasis on the events. We have events all year round, and let's be honest, the events are awful. They always have been. Nobody likes to do them. You have to go out into the open world, and then you have to struggle to get them done, which they're not enjoyable to do in the first place. They're god awful, they're boring, and then you have to fight other people by racing to it before they get there, and then you spend like 5 or 10 minutes running around the same couple of blocks in the city, Gotham or Metro, trying to get this stuff done so you can get on with your day. And it's just a waste of my time. It's a waste of everybody's time. We really need to streamline that. We need to do away with these old events. I would be happy if you would take a year off of events and just revamp them. Maybe even cut them back. I don't need a Valentine's event. I don't need a springtime event. I don't need a summer event. I don't need a winter event or a Halloween event. Like, it's back to back to back to back. And now we have Save the Universe. And now we have whatever the Teen Titans one was. It's too much. And I feel like all of these events, dads feel like they're probably constantly bouncing around between event, episode, event, episode, event, episode. Like, hit the brakes a little bit. You know what I mean? I feel like the events are taking away from time that could be invested into the episodes so that we get more than one raid, one duo, one alert. Back in the day, they used to actually make it a point to make these longer episodes, right? And I don't know where the ball was dropped. I really don't. But it's very lackluster. I mean, ever since Save the Universe, these episodes have been very whack. I'm going to say ever since Birds of Prey, for me personally, ever since Birds of Prey, these episodes have kind of sucked. And like I said, it's not that they're bad. There just is nothing to do. Nothing. Like, the daily missions aren't really that enjoyable. They're okay. They've always been the same. So I'm not going to complain about the daily missions, but I am going to complain about the raids and the alerts and the duos. There's just not enough. It's not enough to keep me invested. Especially here lately. It's why I stopped playing for a while. I got bored and I just went over to Destiny. And then Destiny's kind of suffering from the same thing. There's nothing to do on the PvE side, so I just, stuck to PvP, and eventually I just stopped playing again. And I came back to DC. But I mean, I'm still playing every day, right? And I'm just bored. It's just sometimes I don't feel bothered to even get on. Like, I'll still get on and do my dailies, but I'm not on for longer than 20, 30 minutes. Obviously, Thursdays are pretty fun days to play. Any day after reset that you are able to get on and actually do all your bounties and all the raids, that's pretty fun because you have time to invest at that point. There's something to invest that time in. So it's fun. But as far as being a daily player of this game, I just don't really feel like doing it as much as I used to. And like I said, I just attribute that to just not enough content. There's just not enough stuff to keep me invested. Throwing these, like I said, crazy currency cost of gear at me is not going to make me want to play this. Remember when we had Runes of the Norsemen and you couldn't buy the best gear available? You couldn't go buy Elite. You had to get it to drop, which I'm not saying that's what we need to go back to. That's kind of awful. But what was cool about it is we got a mission that we had to go and do, and you had to run something. I think we had to run the alert. And then after the alert, if you had that mission, you would get a secret boss to pop up, and then you would take that boss out, and then you could go on about your way and make your rune gear, stuff like that. It gave us something to do, just an extra step. That was kind of fun, and I'm not saying that's what we need to do, but stuff like that is what we need more of, So I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this. I'm just saying right now, not really happy with the state of the game. Not really happy with the episodes we've been getting. That's pretty much the shared sentiment. across most players at this point is that these episodes have been very lackluster, and they're just not that fun to play. I don't really enjoy TTE. You know, it's not that I can't do it. I've done it plenty. I just don't want to bother with doing it. Um, to me, it feels more like I'm just getting in and I'm getting out. I'm just kind of on autopilot. I get in, I get out, and get my marks. I don't want to spend any time in there. I don't want to go in there and try to knock out the feat because I don't enjoy it. I don't necessarily dislike it. I just don't enjoy it. I do have some of my favorite raids that I do like to play over and over again. Um, but like I said, it just feels kind of empty. It's very hard to get into this stuff, even on the hero side, on the US servers, which is the most populated server across all servers, across all consoles, PCs, everything. The USPS hero side, USPC hero side is the most populated, and it just feels like it's hard to get anything done at this point. I don't have 20 minutes to wait around. I can't sit here in LFG and keep shouting for a group, to put one together or join one. I don't have that kind of time anymore. And I guess I'm just kind of over it. I'm still going to play, but I may just kind of relegate it to Thursdays at this point, and maybe just like over the weekend, aside from 10 minutes out of my day to do the dailies. But in my eyes, I think we just have some pretty shitty episodes. And like I said, the episodes themselves are not bad. They're just boring. They don't offer anything. There's not really anything fun to do in them. I feel like they're just throwing a lot of stuff at us with all the events. And on paper, it probably sounds good because they're like, hey, you can do this, you can do that. But these are things we don't want to do. These are things we do not enjoy doing. And, it's always going to be quality over quantity. And just ramming a ton of crap that I don't want to play down my throat is not going to make me want to play the game. It's only going to push me away. And so I think a lot really needs to be reconsidered in this game and to stop pushing out the same formula. Shake it up a bit, please. I'll stick around, but you've got to give me a reason to stick around. So, like I said, I'm not here to hate on the devs. I think they're doing a fine job. I just think that everything could be done better than it is currently. And I'd really love to hear what you guys have to say about it. And really quickly, like, look at this. This is embarrassing. It's supposed to be Earth 3, the Panopticon Elite. And this is like the journal entry showing up on the on duty menu. It's embarrassing. Anyways, guys, I guess this was kind of a rant. It was just some things I wanted to talk about regarding the game. But you'll probably still see me around. Otherwise, let me know how you're feeling in the comment section down below. Like I said, this game really is feeling like it's on its last leg. I know that's been the sentiment since the game launched. Every year, people were saying, "Oh, this game's dying." I don't think it's going to die anytime soon, but it really does feel like it's empty right now, and there's not a lot of reason to stick around. So that's what I got to say for today, guys. If you're new to the channel, well, hey, good first video for you, right? If you're a returning viewer, as always, I appreciate it. But please, please, please let me know down below how you feel about the game currently. Things you would like to see improved upon. Just what you would like to see in the game. You never know. Maybe somebody will see it. Otherwise, I doubt it. But I can at least speak to you guys about it and vent my frustrations out. And we can share those frustrations. So I'll catch you next time. Willie out. Stay frosty.